On November 12, 2001, just 2 months after the September 11th attacks, an American Airlines flight out of New York City lifted off from JFK, bound for the Dominican Republic. Within minutes, Flight 587 would fall from the sky, crashing into the quiet neighborhood of Belle Harbor in Queens, killing all 260 people on board and 5 on the ground. The nation's first thought? Not again. But what actually caused this crash? And what impact did it have on the city so soon after 9/11? At 9:14 a.m., the Airbus A300 climbed into a clear blue sky. Just ahead was a Japan Airlines 747 whose wake turbulence rippled through the air. The co-pilot, 34-year-old Sten Molen, tried to steady the plane, but in doing so, pushed the rudder pedals too hard, too fast. The tail section, the vertical stabilizer, snapped off completely. Both engines tore away. The plane spiraled down, slamming into the houses on Beach 131st Street, igniting fires across 5 city blocks. In an instant, homes were engulfed. Yet firefighters, many of them still grieving the loss of colleagues from 9/11, rushed back into another disaster zone. Initially, panic swept New York City. Bridges and tunnels closed with fears of another attack. But within hours, investigators found the cause wasn't terrorism. It was human error, compounded by design flaws and training failures. The NTSB later concluded that the co-pilot's overuse of the rudder, combined with the aircraft's sensitive controls, caused the vertical stabilizer to shear off. The accident forced airlines to overhaul rudder training and redesign steering systems on some planes. Most passengers were Dominican families traveling home. Among them was 25-year-old Hilda Yolanda Mayol, who had actually escaped from the North Tower of the World Trade Center on 9/11. Like every passenger on Flight 587, she perished in the crash. For the Belle Harbor community, which had already lost 65 residents on September 11th, the crash was another unbearable wound. Every year, families gather at a memorial facing the Atlantic toward the Dominican Republic to read the names, to remember the faces, and to remind the world that healing and memory often share the same flight path. On that day in 2001, tragedy struck twice, once in the air and again in the hearts of a city still learning how to grieve. Here are other events that happened today in history. In 1783, French chemist Lavoisier demonstrates that water is a compound, not an element. In 1864, during the American Civil War, Sherman orders the destruction of Atlanta's business district. In 1954, the immigration facility at Ellis Island permanently closes after more than 62 years. In 1973, Queen begins its first ever concert tour, opening for Mott the Hoople in Leeds, England. In 1997, Ramzi Youssef is convicted for his role in the 1993 World Trade Center bombing. In 2018, Marvel Comics creator Stan Lee dies of heart failure in Los Angeles at age 95. In 2022, 4 University of Idaho students are found murdered at an off-campus apartment. And now it's time for our Today in History quiz. How old was the designer of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C.? 17, 21, 25, or 29? Liked learning about the crash of American Flight 587? Then you'll also enjoy this one about a wild aviation disaster where a flight attendant survived a 33,000-foot fall. Tap the screen to keep the story going on Today in History.